Oh, God.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Wayne Biggins, how are we doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Thanks for
No
coming
problem.
on, mate.
To be fair, I think I asked you before lockdown, didn't I, to come on? So it's been fucking...
It's all them drinks that we've had at golf, innit? Forget
I'll
about
ask
it.
listeners to this.
Oh,
Be
she's watching
quiet.
it.
Okay, now we'll...
Quiet
It's quite nice lemonade. It's good. It's all right.
We'll have a club sandwich.
We put questions out every week and we get done, don't we?
Yeah.
People just have us on a piece of string. So I'm going to read 3 out. Tell us if they're true. Did you punch Mick Hucknall?
Never ever.
You ever met
I
him?
watched him live a couple of times, but never met him. So I don't know where that's come from.
Did you get beat up at Hillsborough?
Never ever been beat up at Hillsborough. Never had a fight in my life.
Well, it's not been well, this, is it?
Hey.
Did you strip off and run around a dog track?
Yes, I did.
1 out of 3 ain't bad, is it?
There we go. I think the Hucknall song in it.
And I think it's my favourite. My favourite out of 3.
No, it was religiously after every football game. I used to rush back, and we went to the Dogs every Saturday night, me and my missus and many a couples. Great night. And they always finish in the casino. But we had a few drinks, and for some reason one of the lads who was with us said, "Do you fancy a race around the track?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll have a try." So I took my shoes off them and I said, "I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll go bollock naked." Well, I'm thinking, when 8, 9, 10 pints after, 500 metres round a dog track is hard work. So we stripped off on the first bend, got on the starting line, and off we go. And we did the 500 metres, but I tell you what, that was hard work. But we knew the owner was Dave Allen at the time. And
Oh, Sheffield Wednesday.
yeah, Sheffield Wednesday. So we were pretty much well known because we was there every week. I think if it had been his first time there, it would have been bored, but because obviously we go every week, and we got away with it. Like, but
Did you take the win?
I won by a bell end.
Thought to finish.
Well, they always call.
Are you quick out the trap
Well,
so you stay here?
my nickname's 8 Ball. My nickname's 8 Ball, so
My nickname's 8 Ball.
it's like this microphone here. Easy win.
Is that a regular occurrence, though, going dogs with lads after the game?
Oh, well, Mrs. Women does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always went home after games and picked the women up, and then went and then finished in casino. Went back downtown late at night and that. But it was brilliant because we got free passes as well, so it was all for nothing. But it was a really good night.
So it weren't even the old tenner chicken in the basket, free
No,
pint?
never paid for that. No. Last thing we'd probably finish with a breakfast in the casino, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'd go straight to the Dogs with my suit on from the game. She'd meet me there and things like that. But religiously, we lived in the dog track, really.
Started at Lincoln, mate.
Yes, I did. Yeah, we had a good set of lads all from Sheffield. We had a great kind of Sunday League team, and there's a fella called Jeff Worth who took us in the Sunday League team, and he took about 8 to 10 of us. I think it was about 10 of us he took from Sheffield to be apprentices at Lincoln. And when we first went, when we were trialling, it was Graham Taylor, obviously the late Graham Taylor. He was a manager, and then it became Colin Murphy. Colin Murphy became the manager, so he took about 10 of us as apprentices, and we all lived in like a 6-bedroomed house, looked after by an old lady, which was as an old fella called Percy Freeman, was a player at Lincoln City at the time. It was his mum. So she had like 10 lads from Sheffield who were apprentices living in this one house, and she was looking after us. Well, she was 60-odd-year-old then, so you know how mischievous you are as kids and that, and even at 16. And we did silly things like, I mean, there was like rooftops where you could get out your bedroom window, climb down the drain pipe, and off you go out at night, lock the front door. And we had a great mentor. We had a fella called Mickey Orford. Obviously, you know Mickey, big centre-forward, great. He was playing at Lincoln at the time, and he kind of looked after us, a bit of a father figure. And the game was on a Tuesday. If they played on a Tuesday night, all we had to do, the apprentices on a Wednesday, was put the divots back on the ground, clean the players' boots, make sure all the kit was perfect from the game Tuesday. So Mickey used to say, we're going to Cinderella Rockefellers. If you lads want to come, and we're thinking, how the fuck are we going to get out of this house with a landlady? So we used to lock.
Is she
them.
living in the house?
She was living in the house,
Right.
looking after us, feeding us and everything. So she always checked that we was always in bed, and she used to shout up and say, "All right, boys, all in bed."
Waltons.
Perfect. Yeah, we're there.
Biggins.
They call her
Night
Peggy,
now.
Peggy Freeman. Lovely woman. Fucking had a fag when she cooked the meal and everything. It was, fag as she was, food was
Bit of
shite.
seasoning.
Food was absolutely shite. So she used to shout us in and lock the front door. So then we used to put the windows ajar, climb onto the roof top, down the balcony, down the drain pipe, and off we go to Cinderella Rockefellers to meet Big Mickey Orford. And then 2 o'clock in the morning, come back from there, back up the drain pipe, back in. And she used to get up in the morning. Come on, lads, breakfast is ready. And we say, thanks, Peggy, no problem.
None the wiser.
None the wiser. Unbelievable.
It was more of a struggle getting back up there.
Oh, like
yeah,
you've never
2 in
known.
the morning as
like
well.
you've never known.
Skinful.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's up onto a roof space, window open, bump into the bedroom, 1 bedroom. Oh, brilliant.
She never found out.
Never found out. Good times.
It's not a bad ratio, that, is it? 10 players from your Sunday team. Or
Yes,
whatever it was.
all from Sheffield,
Unheard
every
of.
one of us.
I bet manager were pissed off.
There's a couple from
10
Lincoln.
players gone.
Yeah, a couple from Lincoln.
Must have been easy for you, going down there with 9
Easy,
other lads that you know.
yeah.
It's not
Especially
actually
at that
that
age.
far, is it, really? From
Nah,
here?
it's only an hour. I mean, we used to come home at night and things like that. Parents would come and watch the Saturday morning game, and then we'd watch the afternoon game, and then they'd bring us home. Like, it was good. There's a fella called Colin Murphy, and I made my debut. I think I was 18, just after 18, and we were playing Hartlepool. He put me in the team, and I actually scored on my debut and played the last 8 games of the season, and then he released me. Let me go. He just says, don't think you're big enough, strong enough to have a full season in. It was then the old, the third division, the second division now, which then was the old 4th division. I'm not sure if you're big enough, strong enough to take a full season. But we'd actually won promotion that year, gone up. So we'd obviously gone into this second division, which is now. So I don't think you're strong enough, but that's just fair enough. So I came out of that, and
You must have been like half raging, were you?
well, I was more emotionally upset because I'm thinking all I've known for the last 3 years is 2 years apprentice and 1 year's pro, and I'm thinking what do I do now at 18? I mean, the money was on 10 quid first year, 11 quid the second, and 12 quid the third year. So it was literally peanuts. And then I sat at home, and I remember my dad saying, "Listen, don't get upset, pal. You get yourself off your arse now and work your bollocks off and get back in and prove him wrong." I did. I got off my arse, and I think the best thing for me too is I'll go in non-league football and try and find my way back that way.
Get a job and...
Yeah, I did. I got a part-time job, and then I signed for Matlock Town, which is not too far from here. And I'll give you 25 quid a week and 2 quid petrol money, which you'd get to Matlock and back on 2 quid in night, especially in a little Fiat. But nobody gave me. I got 27 quid off them and a part-time job. So money-wise, I was no different to what I were at 60 quid a week at Lincoln. Had a couple of years at Matlock.
And are you like, after how long are you thinking, or at any point are you thinking, I think that this just might be me, this, working and playing at Matlock? Or did you ever think that? You think I've always got a chance of getting...
I always believed that I were good enough to get back in. I was at Matlock a couple of years. I had 6 months at Kings Lynn because they said they'd give me 30 quid. But I had to travel, 4 hours there, 4 hours back.
4 quid petrol.
So for 3 quid, I might as well go back to Matlock. So I went back to Matlock.
For 3, you know what you think in terms of
Exactly.
money in football now? For 3 quid, I might as well go back.
So for 3 quid, I thought I'll go back to Matlock. I'm back on 27, and that year we had a little kid who used to work down the pit, called Bobby Mountain, about 5'5", and I'd not really heard of any interest whatsoever. And we were playing in a derby match.
Are you scoring goals?
Well,
Regular?
we're playing in a derby match against Buxton at Christmas, and I had a fucking nightmare. I was absolutely shy, and I've gone home fucking depressed and everything, and then I get a phone call next week and say, Burnley's put a bid in for you. And I thought, fucking hell, after that performance. Honest, I thought, how am I going to get in Burnley for a performance like so, obviously. But I finished up with 21, but little Bobby, he got 49. And he went up, and Bobby went, how the fuck have you got a move to Burnley on 21 goals and I've got 49? And bless him, he carried on working down the pit, and then I went off to Burnley. £10,000 I went for to Burnley.
What age was he?
93.
Yeah, little Bobby, yeah.
Might have passed his best.
Yeah, I would have said 28, something like that. Maybe he probably maybe on just that bit too old, like to get a move, but he was a little 5'4" nippy kid. And
how old are you? Yeah, 22.
I was just 22. Yeah, Burnley. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, after that performance, I'm thinking I ain't going to play here. Yeah. I think it was about, 83 or 82, 83 when I went to Burnley?
Were he joking weird about this, or were he actually a little bit bitter?
Listen, Pack, I tell you what, if you ever got a lift at ground, his dashboard was just full of fag ends. And you ever got in and he put the heaters on, fucking fags were everywhere. You sat in the front, and I mean, he just lived his life for non-league football basically, and a pint and a fag. Whereas I was dedicated as glass of orange juice after. Once I got released, I mean, my missus used to say, I was on orange juice for quite a while because I thought I want to get back in here. But the funny story is, when I first signed, there was a fella called Peter Swan who played for England, a big centre-half, he's Sheffield Wednesday and everything. He got done for gambling. I don't know if Swan, do you remember him? No. Brilliant fella, lovely fella. And it was him who signed me at Matlow. And I was drinking oranges. And so we get on this minute, we're playing Bangor away, my first game. So I thought, we're on this minibus all the way to Bangor. Fucking hell, like this. And he came round and he said, I want 50 pence off every one of you. And I said, Swanee, I'm not being funny, but I'm only on 27 quid. So that gives me 26 and a half. He went, I want 50 pence off everybody. So he took 57. We were thinking, what the fuck's 50 pence for? So we get to Bangor, we get in the hotel, we drop his gear off, and he says, come on in, we're going to have a walk. So he goes for a walk, he goes to this nightclub. And he opens this nightclub, he says, come on lads, we're going in for a few beers. He went, the 50 pence is for the admission fee for you all to get in, you're all fucking coming. So we all give him 50 pence for admission fee. We won 1-0 the day after and had a few pints, and that was my...
Was it a few pints or like...
That was in a nightclub, was in a nightclub, yeah. Ended up winning 1-0 day after.
So you just fucked orange juice off it?
That's when I fucked orange juice off. But no, I was pretty dedicated after I got released, to be fair.
We're Burnley, League 2 now, Division 3.
Yeah.
Time.
No, League 1 now.
Right.
Yeah, League 1.
So it was a third jump then?
Yeah, massive jump, yeah. The great story is I signed for Burnley 10 grand. John Bond was the manager. You remember Bondy? You must remember John Bond. Kevin Bond, his dad. He was big Malcolm Allison.
I know his uncle James.
James, yeah. He was Bondy, flamboyant, like Malcolm Allison. Do you remember Malcolm Allison?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have met more like flamboyant, lovely tie and everything, smart looking kid. Well, it was him who signed me. And the third game, we've got Lincoln in the league. Well, the manager at Lincoln is Colin Murphy, who released me 2 years ago. So we come, you can look this up. I got hat-trick, 4-0 we won. Unbelievable. I'm thinking, oh my God. And to be fair to Colin, he wrote me a letter after and said, I've made a mistake. And
that's fair.
I owe him for that. I think that was absolute class.
I mean, I had Murph at Hull.
Did you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. He's not very well at the moment,
No.
now, to be fair. I saw him in Lincoln a couple of years ago.
Well, that's fair play for him.
For him to, and I rang him and thanked him and said, "That's unbelievable, Murph. Thanks ever so much. I appreciate that. 'Cause it meant a lot."
So just going back, sorry, Chris. Just going back to your £10,000 move.
Yeah.
When you've gone in that first day, you're thinking, "What the fuck have I got here?"
The team at Burnley then. There was Tommy Hutchinson, Scottish international. There was Brian Flynn, Welsh international. There was Dennis Stewart, England international. There was Kevin Reeves, England international. Who else were there? Mickey Phelan. There's about 6 internationals. 7. I'm thinking, who'd all played in the top level, FA Cup finals, England, Scotland. Tommy Hutchinson, Scotland. And I'm thinking, Billy Hamilton, centre forward, who Irish international. And I'm thinking, and he's put me straight in the team. And I thought, for fuck's sake, this is unbelievable. But I weren't frightened. Dennis Stewart was there, smartest man I've ever met in my life. And I don't know if you remember when you're kids, you probably won't now because I was a lot older, but you had holes in the end of your toes of your boots and you couldn't afford another one because they were too expensive. So you used to have to go and have a patch put over the end of your boot. Mum and Dad used to get you one pair of boots every season. I had these boots because I couldn't afford any other. Puma, I remember them Puma Kings, but there's a big hole in them. And I remember coming off the pitch after my first game, and Dennis Stewart was on the bench who just played for England. And I'm thinking, he said to me, I got in the shower and I got in the bath, he went, Wayne, have you seen your toes? They're filthy. And I looked at them, and for some reason, I was in awe of them because they were all internationals. And I looked, and I got a big hole. I had a big hole in my football boots. Or I'd moved from Matlock to Burnley, I was just superstitious that I played in them. And I just looked at my toe, and they were fucking black because the hole was about that big, and there's a big cap at the end. And I just looked at Dennis like that, and I just went, that's because I have played. And he was on the bench. And why I said it, why I said that, I never know. And I just looked at me and I just went, that's because I've played. And he just looked at me and started to say, what a fucking good answer. You know what I mean? And
I thought it'd come from one little fucking prick.
Who the fuck are you? Your first game in Football League, and you've said that to me.
You just had an international.
I played 50 times for fucking England. And that was it. I just come out with that for some reason. I know I got in obviously it was a shared bath in them days. I don't think he got in with me because he thought, fuck that, I'm not getting that bath with fucking shit in it off your toes. But he was a perfectionist, Dennis. Like it's the first time I came across your little bags under your arm and all
wash bags.
Yeah, little wash bags. And that was in 83.
What were Burnley doing in the third division if they had all these players?
Exactly. We went down. We got relegated that year. And Bondi, I remember Bondi coming the day before, we had a bit of a bad run. He said, Biggins, if you fucking play like that again, you get me to sack, you can't. And I sat there and we lost game after and he fucking got sacked. And I thought, for fuck's sake, he's not blaming me, surely. I've just got 18 goals that season, so he can't blame me. Because I think, I don't think Bondi wanted to have a go at all the big internationals who were playing in that team. I was because the others had probably clipped him or had argued back, you know what I mean? But he said that to me and I thought, I shit myself. I just sat there, I'm thinking, I've done all right here. And then he got sacked after that. So.
Was it a case of, even though you got relegated, I've got 18 goals, I'm all right, Jack? Just look after yourself kind of thing.
I never bothered, no. I just wanted to carry on playing football. And luckily enough, there's a bit of a relationship with Bondi. And it was Benno and John Benson. Well, they had a relationship with Norwich City. Which was Ken Brown and Mel Machin and all that. And that's, I think, after that, when Bondi left, in all fairness to him, I think he put me a good word in with Norwich. And that's where I think that's where the Norwich move came about.
Was that a big, in terms of leagues, with Norwich?
Not with Norwich, was in the championship.
Right. Good move then.
So you've got another good move then.
Oh,
year
massive.
Later, so you've gone from non-league to 1 year in League Two,
Well, I had
League One, as we call it now.
Yeah, a year and a half, with Burnley. Got 18 goals in that season and then went to Norwich.
Did you get some new boots in that time?
I got some new boots, I did, yeah. I was sponsored by Lotto.
Oh,
straight
they
away.
had big tongues and all.
Sponsored by Lotto. Fucking hell, and I got a fucking Datsun Cherry sponsored car. You ever see Datsun Cherry, by the way? Fucking hell.
A cherry one as well.
You know the Datsun Cherry?
It was really a great thing,
it
really.
was red with a big green fucking canary on the side of the door. Wayne Biggins sponsored by Fiat. And I daren't drive about it. I mean, it was all right when the missus was in it and all that. But no, I got that.
Them days have gone, haven't they?
Oh.
With name
I didn't look. It come before. He said, Wayne, do you mind coming out 3:15? Just come pick your car up. They brought it on edge of the pitch. And he brought his fucking Datsun Cherry red with a big green crane. And I come out of the tunnel and I thought, for fuck's sake, I can't go and sit in that. And then they give us a Fiat Uno the next time. It's a fucking Fiat Uno like this. God, you only get two people in it. And Steve Bruce was there at the time and Woodsy and all them. And they were sponsored by Fiat, but they got the big fuck off ones and I've got the little Fiat Uno and they've got the big fuck off Fiats.
Oh, that's like establishing where you are in squad straight away, how big your car is.
Unbelievable. But that, to go there, I signed there in October, and he was top of the league. I don't know the stats to the actual end of the league at Norwich, but we hardly lost. We won the league. Portsmouth was second to go into the Premiership, well, which is now the Premiership.
Yeah.
Who was manager, did you say?
Ken Brown, brilliant
Ken
man.
Brown, yeah.
Absolute. But Ken Brown and Mel Machin, who actually went up. We went up that year. It must have been a record points. It was us and Pompey. We beat Pompey at home to get the title and that. But
So you know when you've left Burnley to Norwich, are you straight in the team at Norwich?
yeah, straight in.
Straight in, so-
yeah. Well, it wasn't as bad then because there was only one sub.
Yeah.
The squads were only like 14 and 15, so and there were always a couple injured. So yeah, I played regularly. Yeah, when we got promoted that year into the top league, and then I played every game in the Premiership kind of thing. When we went on, we finished sixth the first year. Then
It's a proper jump.
which
jump.
were-
How you've got there so
yeah,
quick.
it were, yeah.
3 years.
Little
I just-
Tommy Pittman must have been having a fag.
It was right to death,
If only they'd had fucking 20 then, not 40.
Okay, exactly. But no, it was a fair jump within coming out of
3
non-league
years,
in
really,
82, 81 to being in the top league in 85. It was massive, but it's something that it never really crossed my mind. I just took it in my stride, basically.
Did you ever feel like it might be a bridge step too far, or are you always confident enough to go in?
Not really, no, because of the period of time I had in Division 1, which is the Championship now, I grew into it and I thought I was part of it then, do you know what I mean? And then we went up above, and I remember Ken coming to me, Ken Brown, and he said, "Do you really believe in yourself?" This was before we went to Old Trafford. We was in the park, walking through the park in Manchester. He said, "Do you really believe in you?" Because I don't think you do. He says, "I think you've got a bit of fear in you that you're not as good as all the people you're with." And I said, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, it might look that way, but I do."
You had the belief.
And then we get to Old Trafford, and I scored the best goal that I've ever scored in my life at Old Trafford after about 20 minutes. Turned on the edge and put one in the top corner, and he'd come in. We lost 2-1 by the way, but he'd come in after he went, "There you are." And I thought, well, maybe so, like maybe I do belong here, kind of thing. And it ended up that we finished we finished sixth that year, yeah. But great, unbelievable club, great place to live.
Did you take Mrs. and that?
Yeah,
down
we
there?
bought a house up there.
Fitting
Yeah,
surrounded because it's a bit secluded, isn't it?
it is, yeah. But I tell you what, you're 2 minutes from the coast. It's a fabulous place to live. We moved out while I was there, so I didn't really want to leave. It was just that I felt in my third year that the time was coming where maybe I wouldn't be playing every week because they signed little Robbie Flake. Remember little Robert Flake?
Yeah.
John Flake's uncle was here. They signed Robbie Flake. Dave Hodgson signed and that, and I just thought, is it time to move? And then Mel, the assistant manager, got the Man City job. So there's a bit of a connection from Burnley to Man City to Norwich. And then Mel come in with an offer today and said, "Do you want to come here?"
How did you get on with him? Because we had a few people asking, like basically saying how much of a dick was Machin, this and that. Was he not well liked, or?
I can understand where you're coming from as far as...
Well,
other
to
lads.
me, it looks like he's fucking signed you 3 times, so
There
you
you go.
can't really have any.
So for me,
any
he's not very well as well now, to be fair. But for me, I understand where people are coming from when they say that, but as personally, on a personal note, he was brilliant to me, absolute fantastic, and I got to sit. So they asked me if you want to go there, and I said, well, yeah, I will, because I don't think I'm going to be a regular at Norwich this season, which was a bit off-putting, like. So I went to City and signed under Mel. Yeah.
What part of all this is like your sort of Tuesday afternoon clubs and your Sunday clubs? When does all this start in your career?
We didn't then. Not at Norwich.
Like Brucey not like
Well,
a drinker.
Brucey, but it was usually, there was 4 of us lived on an estate. There was me, Brucey, Chris Woods, and Mickey Phelan. All lived on this same cul-de-sac. And Bruce used to knock on my door Thursday night at tea time. He said, "Come on, we'll have a pint." I went, "Fuck off, Bruce, I can't." I said, "It's Thursday, you're not allowed 48 hours of thing." He went, "I'm the fucking captain." We're going at local. And we used to go down every Thursday and have a few bevies in local. Have a game of pool, a few bevies and walk back. And I mean, in all fairness, you look at Bruce and he's never had a physique, has he? Do you remember when he was playing as well? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't understand why he never got an England cap anyway, but that's by the by. But he never had that physique where you look at him and think, yeah, well, I'll let you judge.
he's not playing with Man U fucking all that many times.
I'll let you make judgment. But a good kid, he had great times. And them Norwich days were unbelievable. We had Trevor Putney, who lives in Spain now. I keep in touch with. We had a great friend.
Gunny? Was Brian Gunny?
Gunny was there, yeah. Gunny was in goal.
Wolf Fox.
Bruce Hill, Rolf Fox, Dale Gordon. Great bunch of lads. And it was one of them clubs where you didn't go out ones and twos. You went out 10s and 12s kind of thing. We all went together. And even the women went together. And it was special. It was special times, them 3 years. They were unbelievable. But not as far as... I don't mean just going drinking with the lads and going out at weekends and things like that. Just the changing room was brilliant.
Do you think that will be because of that?
Because of
you all went
got
out
together, yeah, possibly so. Yeah. I mean, we were sponsored by Foster's, so that tells it all, doesn't it? We used to go to away games. I remember as we got promotion, we got Chelsea away, and we drew 1-1 the first game at Stamford Bridge, and we drew 1-1. Fucking hell, we thought we'd won the league because it's his first game back in top flight, and we draws 1-1 and put us. Trevor Putney comes off and absolutely blind, so. He goes and buys some gel. So we've got fucking trays and trays of Foster's and bottle of gin at the back of the bus. And we're all the way from Chelsea, absolutely blind. So we stop on the way home at this pub. And Kenny, the manager then, Kenny Brown, he comes to the back of the bus. He's on fucking gins like this. So we get the gel and he's fucking gelling him up and everything. and Kenny, the man, he's sat there and blind or on the back of the bus. It's absolute unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's after the first game we draw 1-1, that's all. Unbelievable. We was on 600 quid a win then in 85.
And you're winning regular?
Fuck, you how much is that in these 600 quid in 85?
What would be your weekly wage roughly?
500 quid.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
So you it's worth winning then, isn't it?
Fucking hell, make you feeling
as much Foster's as you can drink.
Make you feeling more fucking ounce on 12 months fucking win bonus almost. Do you know what I mean? Crazy. I mean, we bought our first house there, 37.5 grand, 3-bedroom detached. You've only got to win 40 fucking things at 600 quid. It's not bad, is it? Halfway there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Buying a fucking house. Crazy money.
Mad when you think about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
especially where you come from.
Well,
in that short space of time.
27 quid and £2 petrol.
I know, yeah. 50p? What do you want, 50p here? Yeah. Take a quid.
I don't want to change. Keep that fucking quid.
Well, Kenny, when I shit on Kenny, really. I don't mean shit on him. He's never held me back for it. But when I moved to City, he says, I'll be your agent. Because he'd left and he said, I'll be your agent for day. He says, I'll get you
for day.
I'll get you a good
day, right?
A few bob off Mel and all that. So I, living in Sheffield, he says, I'll see you there. So I'll drive up from Norwich. So I'm in Sheffield with my parents and all that. So I go to Man City, which is only an hour over tops. So Mel's there, he went, come on in my office. Because in them days, managers did the transfers. There were no CEOs, whatever you want to call them.
Sporting directors and all that.
Managers did everything then. So he'd come in and he says, I'm going to hear this. And I've gone, oh, for fuck's sake. That sounds... I'll do it. I'll do it, Mel. Ken's on his way over. Norwich, driving. So I looked at him thinking, I can't let this slip. I might not get this weekend. So I went, I'll do it. So secretary comes in, he went, do you want to just have a quick look at this? Blah, blah, blah. It were 10 grand first year, 10 grand second and 10 grand third year, signing on fee. And then more money wage-wise. So I looked at that and I thought, fucking hell, he's giving me 30 grand here. So I've gone, it's ever so much. So I walked down ground, next minute, Ken, he went, come on then, how's it going? Let's get up to it, let's get this sorted. And I went, I've fucking done it, Ken. He went, are you checking the pen? I drove all the way from fucking Norwich and you've sorted it on your own. I was gutted on it. Could you have got a little bit? I said, well, Ken, I shit myself when I saw them figures. I thought, what's happening here?
You're giving £4 for petrol?
Yeah, I get it, yeah. Oh,
So did he not make anything? Did he
fuck
not?
all, he never did all. Absolute nothing. And I, to this day, I always think I let him down a bit.
I can just imagine it. You just see his face.
Oh, Ken.
You've done what?
You've what? I've come all this way from fucking Norwich and you've already signed.
But that when he's going, I'll be your agent for the day.
Yeah, he did, yeah, honest. Because he'd been my manager and he knew Mel well, because Mel was his assistant. It just happened, and I thought, I've looked at them figs and I thought, I know what she'll be saying back home. Sign the fucker.
But you don't think them figures would have been there and you might be able to get a bit more anyway?
I should have done. Stupid, weren't I? But listen, I'd been in football 4 years, kind of thing, back in, and you start thinking, don't you? That,
250 grand they pay for you as well.
yeah, 250, yeah.
Sorry.
So you're sort of, what, 26, 27 now then? At City?
Yeah, 88, yeah, 27, yeah.
Was it a similar type of thing as at Norwich where you thought,
Nah.
I was going to...
The first season was fine. And then I was only there a year because then Mel came home and said, listen, we've gone into the top league again, here we go. I'm going to sign Clive Allen, who just fucking got 50 goals the year before, and he was buzzing. So he went, listen, you can stay, but you're going to be third choice and all this. And I thought, right, I've had a good season here. I might get a decent move now because we've just got promoted, us and Chelsea, to go to the top league. So I'm thinking, do I go now and get a better move, or do I become a failure over 12 months and not get... if I stay another 12 months and I'm not playing...
Fall off the radar a bit, don't you?
Will anybody want me? Do you know what I mean? So I thought I may be better getting away while going's a bit good, like, kind of thing.
Did you give Ken a ring, be your agent?
Fucking hell. No, I didn't.
Fuck off, Biggins.
But the strange thing was, there were 3 clubs came in for me, all championship, and then 3 clubs put another 250 quid, 250 grand bidding. So there was Stoke City, there was Bradford, and there was Bournemouth, all in the championship, which is equivalent to championship now. And all talking and saying they want to go up. So I'm thinking, well, this sounds good. So I'm thinking I'll go meet Terry Dolan at Bradford. He was the manager there, so he showed me around Bradford, and I thought, fuck that, I'm not going there. so then I went to meet Harry, was the manager of Bournemouth, Harry Redknapp. Brilliant. So he phones up and he says, you want to drive down tomorrow and bring your missus down, come and have a chat, and we'll see what we can do. So we drive down to Bournemouth. We meet Harry in the afternoon. So we just got, me and Miss got dressed up. That's all we got. Was going to speak to Harry, come back, straight back home. So we got his gear on, and we get there, and Harry says, blah, 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 pleased to meet you and all this shit. So he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, I'm going to take you to a lovely restaurant later to have a nice meal. Bring your missus, and I'll be with Ken Tyler. So Harry's there, Ken's there, me and my missus there. So he says, you have a pint? I went, yeah, I have a pint, yeah. So I've got missus drinking. This is about, what time would this be? 7 o'clock. So I'm sat there, another pint. So I'm thinking, are we going to fucking talk about fucking movie or what? So
You think he's trying to get you twatted, like?
Eh?
You think he's trying to get you pissed?
Well, no, not at the start. I thought the idea was I'm going to fucking talk contract, what we're doing, because that's what he did here. So I'm saying, so I don't know what I said. I said, I can't fucking mention that yet, Jane. So he gets another pint, bottle of wine, another pint. It's 11 o'clock at night and we're fucking like this. So Ali says, I'll tell you what we're doing. I'll put you up in a hotel and I'll meet you tomorrow. On my life on it. And we'll bollocks.
Start again tomorrow.
I'll meet you tomorrow. So me and my missus, we've had to get up at a hotel, We went to fucking Marks and Spencer's and bought another shirt each so we didn't look scruffy cunts next day. We had to buy some clothes to go out in next day. Because we was going back home.
But do you think you were like thinking, I'll get him pissed here and he might sign for...
Well, the money he was giving me identical was on a city, and I said, Harry, I can't live in Bournemouth with that. Impossible. The house prices were looking astronomical.
Yeah.
No way you could live in Bournemouth. And I said, it's impossible, mucker. Well, I didn't say muckers, I didn't know that.
From your point of view, though, was it a case of, I've got 3 clubs here, I'm going to go whoever pays the most? Was it that, or was it...
No, because, do you know what? When you're a kid, you support a team, don't you? And mine was always Sheffield Wednesdays, but you always have a silly second team And that second team of mine was Stoke.
Fuck off.
I swear on my life. I swear on my life.
Stoke.
It was Stoke. I don't know, it was fucking stupid. And I thought, well, I've spoken to Bradford. I don't fancy that. And we had intentions of Bournemouth because we put the house up. Our house up said, we're going to put it up because we're going to be going somewhere. So we went to Bournemouth. So I'm thinking, if this is good, the area is fucking tremendous, the place to live and everything. So I come back, because he'd said the money's not the best. So then I went for chats with Stoke, and obviously the rest was history. But that season, there was 3 relegated: Stoke, Bournemouth, Bradford. Can you believe that? All 3 of them fucking went down, and they're all saying we all want to get promoted. All 3 of us went down. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, unbelievable. The softening bit was we finished 3rd bottom, the others finished unbelievable. You could not have written it. And Millsy got the second ball, he took over then.
You settled straight in at Stoke when you got there?
Yeah, well, I scored on my debut against West Ham at home, so straight away you've hit road running, haven't you? But we had a decent side. Chris Kamara were playing, Peter Beagley were playing, some good players, but for some reason we're fucking useless.
3 years at Stoke overall, and top goal scorer all 3 years.
Was there?
Yeah.
Nah, knows that fucking word. Nah, knows.
To be fair, Bowley came in, Mick got sacked, and then Bowley came in and pretty much changed it about. That's probably the start of my socialising days, because the lads he brought in were...
My socialising.
Well, do you know what I mean? Because, I mean, I like I said, I steady Eddie, but then he brought Blakey in, Noel Blake, Big Blake, he brought Mickey Kennedy in. He brought quite a few lads from Pompey who he'd done well with. Good lads, but good lads to have around you and that, and if there's any trouble, all lad, he was a good lad. Big Blake I still speak to him now, he's a great kid. Lovely lad. And Mickey Kane, that started pretty much Tuesday afternoons when Bowley had finished training. He'd love to be one of the boys.
That's what the boy were involved with.
Well, he'd train and he said, listen, we're going to have a pint after, so nobody fucks off. We stay together and all that kind of thing.
All in.
Yeah, well, yeah, so there were a boozer about a mile from Old Victoria Ground at Stoke, and we were down there after training, cars were there, and so and the missus would get a phone call, say, I'm not home till tomorrow, whatever. So, but they'd be there. But Bowley, once he told us in the morning, I want you to put a good session, because we're going to have a pint after, and I'm going to be there, and all that. So we'd all do his training, we'd go straight into the shower, we'd be down the pub, Bowley wasn't to be seen, come back and now, he'd come in an hour later and he'd say, you set of bastards, Bowley. I'd say, what's up, Gaffer? He says, you know what? He says, not one of you stayed fucking behind. He says, you know what, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll still be fucking here pissed up, just like you. Why didn't you fucking stay behind and do a bit yourself? It was unbelievable like that. Unbelievable. He says, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll fucking still be there with you. Pissed up. And
He's digging you out for not doing extra.
Yeah, and he said, why ain't you doing extra? You've got till 2 o'clock in the morning to get pissed, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you want to be in there.
We was out, bump, gone, shouting everything. And like the lads at Big Blake, I mean, he's probably the only kid, I could get away with what I did to Blakey. Some of the things I did with him, and I remember one afternoon Mickey invited us to Sunday dinner at his house. So it was me, Mickey and Blakey. So we're sat in the living room, and Blakey always wore a flat cap, a baseball cap like that, always. And so we're in the living room, the girls are doing dinner and all that. So we've been at pub all afternoon, come back for dinner. So we're sat and thinking, well, we just had his first kid. Our Megan was born then. So she was only months old. So we sat in the living room, so we're having a beer and everything, and girls shout us through. So Blakey takes his caps on, puts it on the thing, and goes into, we all go into dinner. So Jamie and Mrs. said, Wayne, will you just go and change our Megan? Obviously before we have his dinner. So I goes into the living room. So I take her off. She's only months old. So I changed the nappy. So I get the nappy and I sees Blakey's cap and I think, I've got to do this. So I gets his cap and I gets the nappy and I wipes it the shit all round inside of his cap and puts it back on the chair. So we go back in for dinner. So then we're having dinner. Then we tanked up. So I'm thinking I'm waiting just for us to go back in this living room. So they say, why don't you go back in the living room while we wash pots? So I sit here. So I see Mickey and Blake go down the corridor, and I'm just waiting for the shout, "You dirty bastard!" Because I know he's going to walk straight in and put his cap on, and I just hear this laugh from Mickey, and Blake has put his cap on. Fucking, I come running down the corridor. I thought he was going to kill me. Honest, he never did, and he obviously got shit on his head. Absolute. And
that's good crack. But do you know when your missus are there?
Oh,
what is
you can't retaliate.
All three of them, yeah, 6 of us, yeah, having Sunday dinner. Unbelievable. And then there was 3 baths. There were 3 baths and then a load of showers. So after the game, the first one got to the baths and run it, wouldn't they, obviously? So I see Blake after the game and he's looking and he went, "Biggins, stay away from that fucking bath." I was, "I'll kill you. That's mine." So I said, "All right, Blake, no problem." So I gets in, so I fills the bath up. So he's still getting changed. So I jump in and he comes running in. So I gets out of the bath. So I gets in the shower and I'm stood laughing in the shower. He's laid in bath and he's just sat back laid in bath like this. And he went, "Fucking shit yourself, Bert, didn't you?" I says, "Not really, Blakey, I pissed myself." So he's gone, "You dirty." So I pissed in the back. Oh, fucking unbelievable. And I think anybody else he'd have killed, but we were such good friends. Like.
Yeah. So again, did you have a good unit?
Not as many, but yeah, a good crack.
Were you there with Billy Whitehurst?
Well, there's another one. So I get a phone call on a Thursday night, and it's Billy, a great kid. He says, "Bert," he says, how'd you get at grounding? So I says, "Well, I drive me. I'm from Sheffield, commute." So he says, "Well, come with me." He says, "I've come on loan for a month." So I says, "Oh, Bob on." So he said, "I'll meet you at Bramall Lane," because he were at United when he Sheffield United. "I'll meet you at Bramall Lane. Come through in my car. They've given me a car. Stokes gave me a car for a month." I went, "Oh, fair enough." So I goes down to Bramall Lane, parks my car, jumps in, big blue Sierra. It's minging. But he got it anyway. So we comes out of Bramall Lane. As you go across, you have to go across onto London Road to get over the tops. So he gets to the junction. We goes across. So I'm sat in the passenger seat. I'm thinking, it's gone bump, bump, bump. He's hitting every fucking wing mirror. So I'm like, this. I said, "Brother, you've just hit every wing mirror on that fucking street." So he gets to the end and looks, he says, "Bert, I didn't even pass my test." He said to give me a car, so I took the cunt. He'd not even got a licence. He'd hit every wing mirror going down there for a month. Imagine that for a month. In a blue Sierra. Fucking laugh.
Did you not think I'll drive one though?
Petrol money. And so we gets to the ground. And it's so we just set pieces on the pitch Friday, and Bawley says, "Bawley, short corners all the time. Football. So we get under 6. So I'm up front with Billy this day. We got Brentford next day. So it sends the end. Corner, boys. So he puts ball on the spot. Shut. Whoa. Billy's only been there fucking 2 minutes. Whoa, Bawley. What are you fucking doing here? Fucking short corners. What's the fucking sign me for? Get it in box under keeper, let me go and smash the cunt. If Graham Benstead got goalie then for Brentford. And I remember first fucking corner. Boom. It's fucking honest, unbelievable. And then he went, "I don't think I need to stay here, Bawley, do I? That plays too much football for me."
Did you get a car this time at Stoke? No sponsors?
No, nothing there, no. Nothing there. I got a sponsor my football kit. A company called Biggins. There was a lad called Alan who had a business, and there's another one called Biggins in Stoke, and they were big race goers. Pigeons worth thousands. They used to, and after the game we used to have about 5 or 6 pints in players' lounge after, and they were my sponsor, and they used to come and stand with us and all that, and they'd say, Bert, we do us a favour. We take pigeons home on way home, and as soon as you get home, we let them go because they're in a race, and if they come back here as quick as fuck, they're good pigeons. We paid a few bob for them, so I have a few beers after. So he gives me pigeons, but I always race back to get home to go to dogs. So I pulls car on drive, goes in, gets my fucking gear on, changes round, jumps in the cab to dogs. No phones in them days, were there? Well, 89 aside for Stoke, there were no phones. They were all dingy. So I gets up next morning, house phone's ringing. Jane, it's Bob. Straight away I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. I went, hey, Bob, all right? He went, did you let them pigeons go? I've left them in fucking boot at car. It's still in boot at car. So I've gone, yeah, let them go straight away, Bob. I were on house phone, so he went, we've not come back yet. I went, you're fucking joking. He went, there's a few quids was there, like. So I went, well, I'll let him go, Bob, honest. So I went to fucking boot at car. He went, shit, feathers everywhere. On boat, let fucking pigeons go. Goes out, usual Sunday day thing. Goes back in, I phones him up for house. I went, Bob, he went, if you just fucking come back. He went, I've done them. I've rung them. He says, they're no good to me now. And I've sat in, I thought, he rung them, Joe. And I tell you what, if he listens to this, that's the first time he'll know. Because I still swear, if I ever go back and see him, he thinks I let him go. Straight away. Half a dozen.
She's wrung thousands of pounds of pigeon's neck because you didn't. I bet there were fucking shit and feathers everywhere in the car.
Shit, feathers in boot and everything. It looked like he'd been shot.
I bet he wouldn't have minded if you'd have said, oh shit, I forgot it all.
Exactly. Just let him go. Oh, yeah. Funny, honest. Funny.
Obviously, we've had Lou Macari on.
Yeah,
You've been your manager at Stoke.
Yeah, Lou,
Told us.
Well, there's ups and downs, Lou, just because, obviously, Lou, I mean, to be fair to Lou, he got the best out of me as far as goals are concerned, because I had a good season that year with little Mark Steen. I think we got 50 goals between us that year. But his training methods were just pretty based on getting fit and keeping fit kind of thing. I mean, some strange training sessions we had. Full pitch, 2 against 2, can only score in the 6-yard box.
Oh,
kind of thing. So
full pitch,
2 against 2, scoring in the 6-yard box. I think, for fuck's sake, impossible. And like he used to say in the train, everybody on the line. So there's like 20 people on the line. Top of the pitch, bike. First one can go in. So you've got people fucking bombing bike. And it was funny because people are trying to win every race. And he fucked and he's saying, fucking second again. Thinking, why are you bombing? Just take your time and fucking do 20 runs and go in. And these young ones are going, bastard, I've lost again. Fall off. Oh, no.
And they're back on the line.
Hey?
They're back on the line to go again.
And then you're back in line to go again. And they're fucking, and the older ones are saying, for fuck's sake, just calm down. And you just take your time again. But his best one, Lou's, were one medicine ball, 60 seconds round the pitch. Carry or 2 medicine balls, 75 seconds. And that was, and like, you can imagine little Steenie that year. He was only 5'4" anyway, Steenie. He got only 2 medicine balls running around the pitch. Unbelievable. And that takes me to when he signed me at Celtic, Lou. I got a phone call at night, and it was Lou, and he said, listen, we've agreed with Barnsley. Do you fancy coming to Celtic? So I said, oh my God, fucking 33-year-old, why do they want me at Celtic? I'll give it a go. Big club kind of things, blah, blah, blah. So I said, wow, Lou, he says, listen, find the first train tomorrow morning because we've got Motherwell tomorrow night. You've got to be there before 12 to pass your medical before 12, and then you can be involved next day. So I thought. So I gets a train. Well, it was the first one. It was 6 o'clock or something. So I gets to Glasgow, gets to had a little medical, and managed to get it done for 12 o'clock. So I was on the bench, Motherwell at night. So we played a game. I come on a sub. I didn't know anything about assists then, but if I were playing today, I'd have got assist for the second goal. So we get in the change room, and all the lads have said we're out. So Lou has put me up at the Hilton Hotel in Glasgow. So lads have said, Bert, we're out. you want to come out with us, get to know everybody? I says, yeah, we're fine, yeah. So we finished the game, straight downtown, out. So I gets back to the hotel, well early hours at morning, 3, 4 o'clock or whatever it must have been. So I goes back to the hotel and I says, can I have my key, look, please, for my room? She went, no, it's been took. It's not here. I thought, shit houses. When I get up there and half the lads are going to be laid all over fucking beds. So I gets up, through lift, up to the top. I bang out and I'm shouting, come on, you cunts, let me in. Door opens. Who is it? Fucking Lou. He's booked the door room for me and him in the thing to check to see if I'd fucking come in. And it was Lou. So he says, listen, get yourself to sleep now. All lads were off because we played at night before. Get yourself to sleep. See you at 9 o'clock at ground. So I gets to Celtic Park next day. And in old Celtic Park then, there was a big running track. It was like a speedway track. It was a big running track. And he had me running around the track with fucking medicine balls next day because I've been on a piss. I thought, for fuck's sake, Lou, all the best.
Imagine this, like, open the door and the manager there.
That's crafted, that,
You've only been signed fucking 18 hours.
Unbelievable.
But that Nello there then at Stoke with you?
Nello's at Stoke, yeah. Many a time we dressed him up in silly outfits and sit on the front of the bus just all the way to the away games and everything.
What was his thought process like? First time he come in?
Gorillas, apes, whatever. Just sat down at the front of the bus all the way down.
I bet he was sweating his balls
off.
off.
Never know.
Did he enjoy it all though? Did he enjoy the crowd?
He loved it, didn't he? Loved it. I mean, he come in one day and gives a team talk, and Lou said, get in there and give him a team talk. And Nello just walked in, stood in between, and we looked at him and thought, oh, for fuck's sake. Nello's getting us a team talk, and he just stood there and he went, win, and walked out. We just stood there. I don't know how he went on, I'm not sure. But it was about all the... And
were you there when he made his first appearance? Like, is it...
Went he in a chicken first appearance?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Was it a clown?
Remember, but he... I mean, I love him to bits, and when I go back now, I still see him and that, but he could become a pain in the arse. He used to come in sometimes and come in at the wrong time. If we'd got something on his mind over shit or whatever, you know what I mean? He was thinking, fuck's sake, no, fuck off. You know what I mean? It was one of them.
So like you've got beat, you're better shitter.
I mean, I've known him go and knock on Lou's, not even knock on Lou's door. He wouldn't have a clue who's in Lou's office. He'd just fucking walk in his office and sit down and that. But it was fun. The first time when I signed for Stoke, we had a physio. Okay, it was horrendous. We had a shitty little physio's room. And he had a syrup. The physio had a fucking syrup on, and he used to have a fag in his mouth, treating you. Unbelievable.
A professional football
football club. He'd have a fag, he'd put it in his ashtray, and he'd fucking massage, put stuff on. He had a black syrup on his head. Oh.
Grey road trim.
Well, yeah. And I thought, he was a fucking organ player for church on a Sunday morning. So we had to go in for treatment after he'd finished playing fucking organ. We couldn't go in and say, can we get in at 9 o'clock so we can shoot back home? No, he were at church playing fucking organ. And he had to wait till he'd played organ before we could have treatment.
Were you there when Nello hid the reporter? You made the reporter go missing for a spell?
No, I must not have been, no. But I think after watching the film I saw a lot of him that I didn't see at the ground kind of thing, you know what I mean? I didn't know he had fucking an house full of budgies in his house, and he knew everybody in the royal family and all this. He'd met them all. He never said anything about that. It's just since watching the film.
Yeah.
It's all come about. Like
that's a strange one, isn't it?
It was sad.
You knew somebody for all that time, and then
I felt quite sad when I watched the film, to be fair.
For anybody that hasn't listened to the Macari one, really, he was the kit man, wasn't he? Macari brought him in.
Yeah.
Did he applied for the job at one point, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And
as manager.
As manager. Yeah.
Oh, fucking
I don't even think he was kit man, was he? That was just like his very loose role.
Yeah. Fucking I had 2 left boots under his fucking bench. Fucking frightening. Nello, where's me fucking boot? I've got my one trainer one and one match one. And they both left foot.
Did you enjoy your time at Barnsley? Because a year there and like a few comments, people saying you were brilliant at Barnsley.
Well, when I left Stoke, I took a bit of stick leaving Stoke. It were, one of the main reasons was I thought because I'd done 28 goals and Steenie got 22. They didn't really offer me an improved contract kind of thing, and it upset me a bit. And I thought Barnsley had come in, so I thought, well, I'm 10 miles from home, got my first kid. I will leave an house at 8 o'clock in the morning, driving to Stoke. I'm getting home at 4 o'clock at night. Little and goes to bed at half 6. I'm hardly seeing her, kind of thing. And I think Barnsley, 10 mile up road, home for 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible place.
A lifestyle and everything. So,
What have you got to Barnsley, the lifestyle?
so that was it. And they offered me a better contract and everything. And I took a bit of stick because it was only the day before that we'd played away at Stokes. I'd scored and I kissed the badge, and then the day after I went. But I took a bit of stick of it. But it was just, I think it was just natural for living in Sheffield that Barnsley came in. Plus, they were a league above at the time as well. And then, but I hit the road running at Barnsley. Really, I scored on my away debut at Leicester, and then I got 2 on my home debut against Luton. So I've hit road running there, and I always said, I mean, I know a lot of Barnsley lads anyway, or fans, and I always say I kept you up that year, didn't I? Because we were bottom of the league and we stayed up, and I think I finished with 18 goals that season, something like that. And I said I always kept you up, didn't I? But like I say, I hit road running, so I got a good rapport with him, really. I don't know if you know Barnsley fans, but they are unbelievable. The ground was, I mean, there's still the main stand now is a bit of a shit tip anyway. So I used to park your car. You used to come up, park your car, and before the game, put the window down. Nothing Biggins. Will they sign us this? And I used to get your party car and they signed it, and they'd say, they brought you down to earth, unbelievable. Are they laking today, Biggins? And he used to say, I am, muck, I think so. Well, they better do better than they fucking did last week because they were useless. And I thought, that could only happen at Barnsley. True as it comes. So I park up and I thought, if this cunt says this to all 11 players, we're going to be hugging down before we even kick the ball. You know what I mean? They were fucking useless last week. Oh, my God. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Where would you say your best spell was? Played your best football?
Oh, God. I would say first year at Norwich, when we got promoted, did all right then. And then I would say the year at Barnsley I did well. And the last 2 years at Stoke I did all right, yeah. I did all right then. But I went back to Stoke from Celtic then. It was $12.50 a week. And I'll give you 10 grand if you get me 5 goals the last 10 games, which will get us in the playoffs. Right? So...
You must be fancying that, eh?
Fucking like you've never known. So I've got 3 in 9. And we're playing Luton at home in my 10th game. So I need 2 goals to get that money. So it's just true. You can look this up. The 19th minute I score. I know. So I've got 4. So I've got 70 fucking minutes to get another goal for 10 grand. And Mrs. isn't standing. I'm thinking, I've got this bastard. I'm serious. So it's about 80th minute and I go 1-on-1 at an angle. And I've took it round Kelvin Davis. You remember Kelvin Davis, keeper? So I've took it round Kelvin and I'm like here. And I fucking hit it there. And I bastard a bit outside of post and side netting. And I looked up to her last night, she's giving me fucking... Not bad. And I was thinking, for fuck's sake. And I never got it. I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, sake. I walked in changing room after, and Joe Jordan just stood, he said, I was writing the fucking checkout already. And I thought, you bastard. I missed out on it.
Not get the playoffs then?
Nah, never got it, no. No, and that's when I went after that.
I'm not sure who you were playing for. What happened at Birmingham? Did you cause a riot?
Chaos.
Stoke.
Chaos, yeah, 1-1 when there was a riot. In fact, one of the lads got a knife pulled to him. John
Fucking
Butler.
hell.
Yeah, John Butler, yeah.
On the pitch?
Yeah, on the pitch, yeah.
Fucking
And it
hell.
was the last minute. And I've gone in with a keeper and everybody's baying for a foul. It's run loose and one of the lads has tapped it in. And the crowd are going by me at the referee because obviously they thought I'd fouled the keeper. I hadn't. So he gives the goal. Fucking hell, the next minute. Unbelievable. all 4 sides, bump, on the pitch. We stood there like, shitting himself. So the coppers get it shifted. We go back in. There's only 30 seconds left. So we've got shorts on, fucking flip-flops. What's happening here? So we went out, we fuck all on just to finish. Like, they didn't want to lose, we didn't want to lose. So we just stood there for 30 seconds to finish the game.
What, so the whole crowd's just...
Come on. Absolute chaos.
Was something riding on the game, or was it just a standard league game?
No, it was just a standard league game. Nothing. I don't think, no. It's fucking crazy, honest.
And at what point did one of the lads say, I just had a knife?
Told us after, yeah. I don't know if it was John Butler or Ronnie Sinclair. It was absolute crazy.
Any lads getting like a scotcher out?
No,
or?
not what he said, no. Because, I mean, there's coppers everywhere in them days, weren't there? Not now, you're just stewards, aren't you now? But there's coppers everywhere.
What happened with Steen and Gannon?
We always had a little bit of a ding-dong with Stockport. I mean, they beat us we beat them in the Autoglass final, and they beat us in the playoff semi-final. They had a couple of players, and Gannon was one of them. It was a bit of a loudmouth, big...
Is that him, what manager?
Yeah, he's an Irish lad. He's a big, loudmouth, big-time Charlie kind of thing. And I don't know what he said to Steenie, but Steenie's only 5'5". Steenie just jumped up and won't give him one in the tunnel. Kind of thing. And that was it.
I could just see something at the edge of then. Like,
Yeah,
jumping.
yeah. So it'd be like Norman Winston at time.
Everybody ploughing then, or a separation?
No, but I never saw it because
Right.
it must have been we'd gone into the changing room or whatever. But obviously he'd still got it in his mind that he's having this in tunnel, and he did it. He gave him one in the tunnel. Little Steenie. And Gallon's 6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to happen, that happened regular for
fair
you.
play.
That happened regular for you. The old, which obviously what you're probably a generation before us. You know, the scraps in the tunnel and all that.
Yeah, I mean, there was in them days, you know, when you see tackles now and you think, they're nothing, are they? They're not, are they? I mean, they go down, they dive. And I hate it because I still, to this day, I still think the foreign players have brought the silly diving in. And I think now it's passing on, even to the young kids and the English ones in the game. I mean, you get silly things now. Somebody told me the other day when I was out, he was watching the lad play football, 12-year-old, and he's walking off the pitch, and he's like this, talking to his mate, and I'm thinking, where's he got that from? And it's the foreigners that are bringing them in it, and that's how it all started. The foreigners are diving in.
You got some crisps?
Yeah, the mother's all right. You know what I mean? Yeah, some of the tackles in them days, God, it's straight reds.
Yeah.
Straight reds.
How old were you when you retired?
Well, I were about 38, I think, all in all, because I had a year in National League, which were a Conference League, like.
Yeah.
So
So you just always want to carry on?
What, by the way, I think there was a question about League, about the manager.
Terry? Got to ask
Yeah.
you about
Oh,
Terry.
no, not Terry with the big balls.
I don't,
He was another kit man like Nello. He was the kit man, and he had the biggest pair of bollocks I've ever seen. Honest, he used to tread on them. Fucking unbelievable. Terry, yeah. Bless him, he died, yeah.
Passes me
No, we used to say
Terry.
to him, Terry, if you come, because it was non-league, go knock on their door and get your bollocks out. You know, away team and all that, because it was, and he used to come and he was like, tell him, only fucking kidding, only kidding. Oh, my God.
So do you know when you say you dropped down to Leek and Stocksbridge and Buxton?
Yeah.
You just want to carry on playing?
No, I didn't. Not really, because I thought I've had time. And the oddest thing for me over the years was I never ever, apart from once a year, took my kids on holiday, because you couldn't, could you? It was 2 weeks in the summer, and that was it. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm going to be a bit selfish here if I carry on. So I got a phone call. I packed in at league and thought, that's it, I've had enough. And then Mickey Ono, who play with golf we now, he was the manager at Stocksbridge. He said, Bert, do you fancy another year? Oh, I says, Mink, fuck's sake. I says, I tell you what, get me £100 a game and I'll come. He phoned me up. He says, I've just had a word with chairman. By the way, I played 500 in league games or whatever, and he come back and he says, Bert, will you take 95? And I said, are you taking the piss? Will you take 95? I went, for fuck's sake, mate. Do your best, pal. It's like being back at Matlock, £2 petrol money. So he phoned me back saying, it's all right, he'll give you the 100. I said, oh, brilliant.
We played hardball. You got the extra fiver.
So I got that 100 quid, and then I think Mick then were coming, he wanted to slow down, so then he offered me manager's job, and I was there 18 months. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first season, and I just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're training, you're watching games, and too much.
Yeah.
Too much for me. I couldn't be out all the time. I like my own space, I like my own time, and doing that 7 days a week watching players, and that, not for me.
What are you doing now?
I just work for myself, business, timber, selling wooden pallets. Love it, but not every day a week. I can do it when I want, and then I play golf with lads and watch my lad play football every Saturday. I was at Fleetwood. So I travel all over the country watching him.
He's doing all right.
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's had a good season, yeah. He's all right. So we just love, if he plays away and it's a little bit far, we'll stay in a hotel overnight and go out for something to eat, me and my missus, and then come back Saturday.
Still good at dogs?
Good at dogs. I'm not running around bollock naked now, though, at my age. Not at my age.
It'll take you about fucking 3 weeks to get there now. You're still with you next fucking Saturday. Final Ben.
Brilliant.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thanks ever so much.
Good morning for 18.
Enjoyed that.
That's it.
As long as the weather's all right.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, lad. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Turn into newsreader.
Trevor McDonald.
You when you finish, I'm fucking doing it that way, bastard paper.